While we reinvent the party, while we have new ideas and new outlets and new debates, we should also not forget the fundamentals that define what we stand for. Our values at the core are still the same, as Dr. Intan reminded us just now. We insist on honesty, incorruptibility, integrity in every party member, meritocracy and multiracialism. This is quite fundamental, and whatever happens in Singapore, we cannot change. We believe in meritocracy, in every individual being unique, in every individual deserving equal opportunity to progress and building a system which enables everyone to progress. And we uphold a Singaporean Singapore that belongs equally to all citizens, regardless of race, language, or religion. That's what we have done, and that's what we must continue to do, even though now you have a more vigorous political contest, even though now there will be temptation to appeal to segmented groups in order to push harder, to push the envelope for political advantage. And we must never let it happen that we have racial relations or religious relations polarized because of the political contest. These values underpin our ideals and vision for Singapore: a fair and just society, a better home for our families and children, a land of opportunity for our people to succeed. Party members must also show the same conviction, the same commitment, and the same fighting spirit as before. First of all, we must have conviction in our cause. Members have to be convinced that the party serves Singapore and Singaporeans first and foremost. We may be serving our residents in our constituencies, we may be serving the party, but as Sito says, we are serving our collective interests as Singapore, and that's what the party is about. We must be convinced that what we are doing is, as best we can tell, the best we can do for the country, that our cause is right and just, and it deserves our full support. I am convinced that that is so. My colleagues in the CEC are convinced that's so. That is the reason why we came into government, we came into politics. That is the reason why we are persevering in this effort to keep on winning the support of Singaporeans to build Singapore better. Because we are not in it for individual interests, we're in it for Singapore. And I believe most Singaporeans accept that this is what the PAP is about. And that's why the voters gave us their mandate to govern Singapore for the next 5 years. Not everybody will accept that. There will be some who will dispute whether the PAP is doing good for Singapore. And they may have voted against us. We have to try our best to convince them, not just by words alone, but by our engagement, our persuasion, by our actions and deeds. What we do, how we interact with them, how we bring them in, accommodate their ideas and views, build a broad coalition with as many Singaporeans as possible. But still, there will be a few who will be against us, whatever we say. And some of these may have basically different views from the PAP, but others will want to displace us. And really, for them, the issue is not policies, not whether we are doing right or wrong, but who is in charge. It's power. That they would like the PAP out and eventually themselves in. You see some of these very hardcore opposition views on the internet. Often you don't know who they are because they are anonymous. And we should take such criticism in our stride, but constructively. If it's valid, hear it, take it to heart, use the feedback to improve ourselves. If it's not valid, answer it, defend our position, explain why it is mistaken, respond firmly. It's important, essential for us to be able to answer and rebut what is untrue and not let untruths gain currency unchallenged. Because the first time you hear something, you say that's nonsense. The second time you hear something, same message comes along, you say, well, maybe there's something in it, question mark. The third time you hear it, We've forgotten where it came from. After 5 or 6 times, you say, it must be true. So many people are saying it. And I think it's necessary for us to stand up for what we believe in and participate in this and engage and defend our views with conviction and with self-confidence. It's not easy to do it, but politics is a contest of ideas and of wills, and that's what we have to do. Secondly, we expect all party members to show commitment. Commitment to Singapore, which is our ultimate goal. Commitment to the party, because the PAP wouldn't be here if not for the work of the faithful and the volunteers, and we must continue to have that, what the old party members have been able to do to carry on, to show that commitment to the party. We honored many of them last night at our party awards, and I thank them. I add my thanks to the party chairman's thanks to all of them for their silent effort, for their many, many contributions. Many party members exemplify this commitment and service. Party chairman last night cited a few stories and anecdotes of some of the award winners, and you heard a few more just now. Let me just add one more brief one. And this one happens to concern one of the comrades from my GRC, Eric Lim Tikit from Kebun Baru, who received a commendation medal yesterday. And he served for more than 30 years, and you heard party chairman say he was the stalwart upholding the branch. But you should know some of the sorts of things which this involves. At one hotly fought election in 1997, he went to distribute flyers at an opposition rally. PAP flyers at an opposition rally. Nearly got beaten up. But he left unharmed, and the next night he was back distributing flyers again. And that's one of the many reasons why he got a commendation medal last night. So we thank Eric. So you need that kind of 怕事不造 attitude. And we also need commitment to the people of Singapore. And remember, everything we do is for the people, not for ourselves. Hence, the theme for this convention, our cause, our people. Remember, we are here to serve. We are not lords and masters. Never lord it over our people. They depend on us. You may have influence over them. You may have power to affect their lives. But be humble always. I said this before the election. I think it's important to remind ourselves after the election that this is so. And in fact, it should be something which we put in all the branches in some form to remember and remind ourselves. If you flaunt your position or your power, the party will not tolerate this. You have to build mutual respect with the voters, between the MPs, the activists, and the voters. It cannot be a transactional relationship. I voted for you, so many votes on my family, therefore you must do this for me. Or vice versa, I'm doing this for you, therefore you must vote for me. Yes, we must look after one another. But the relationship is not just a transactional one. The relationship has to be an emotional connect, a mutual trust, confidence, a regard that they are our people and we are their representatives. And it's our duty to care for them, just as it's their responsibility in their own interest to work together, and we hope that they give us their mandate and their confidence and support. Thirdly, we expect fighting spirit from all of our members. Fight for what we believe in. Never give up, even if we encounter difficulties or setbacks. Defend our beliefs. Have confidence that we are right and eventually we will prevail. Potong Pasir, case in point. 27 years, we took it back. Sito Yipin fought 2 elections, 2001 and 2006, both times lost. This time, I asked him, do you want to move to another constituency? He says, no. If I want to fight, I fight in Potong Pasir. He had tilled the ground well. He had gradually earned the trust of residents. He wanted to have that satisfaction of seeing his efforts bear fruit. I fielded him in Potong Pasir. He fought, he won, and he came here to tell you about it. And I have no doubt that he and his team of volunteers and activists in Potong Pasir have forged a strong team spirit and will serve the residents well and will consolidate their hold by the next general election. It will not be 100-something votes. Well done, Sito. Likewise with Aokang. It's not easy to win back Aokang. Low Tia Kiang was a hard-working MP, built up strong loyalties to the Workers' Party there, which Hsien Loong inherited. Some of it transferred over to Hsien Loong. But even in Aokang, 1/3 of the voters supported the PAP. I spoke to Desmond Chu recently. His branch activists are in good spirits. They're holding coffee sessions with residents, reaching out to them. And Desmond is even seeing new helpers join the branch, reinforcing the older ones. So we have people who have been there fighting since Tang Wang Seng's days and earlier, more than 20 years. And we have people who are new, joining the cause, knowing that it's a tough fight, who are prepared to commit themselves and make the effort to try and win over the voters. And I think that is the way. Never say die. Aljunied GRC, we lost this time, was a setback for the party. It's the first time we lost a GRC. We knew sooner or later such a thing could happen, even you could say sooner or later, bound to happen. But understandably, our candidates and our party activists in Aljunied are deeply disappointed. They worked very hard. They fought a fierce fight, but the mood was against them. But we will not abandon Aljunied. We will not abandon our activists in Aljunied GRC, in the 5 branches there. We will continue to keep in touch with the residents, especially those who have supported us. And our party leaders have been talking to the branch chairman and the key activists on how we can win back ground support in Aljunied. For the next 5 years in Aljunied, the PAP is in opposition. But the PAP does not intend to give the Workers' Party team in Aljunied a free run. So I think our branches in Aljunied will have enough to do to keep themselves busy and also to keep the Workers' Party team busy. And the party will back them up with leadership and support, and we will fight on, and eventually we will win back Aljunied. I expect future elections to be fiercer contests. I don't expect any more clean sweeps. I don't believe there will be any more safe wards anywhere in Singapore. That's the way our society is moving. That's the way our politics will evolve. That's what we must prepare ourselves for now. We fight in every constituency. And in every constituency, we fight to win. And therefore, we must prepare early. Not just when elections approach, but from the beginning of our 5-year term, so that in the constituency, whatever the overall strategy and national issue, the groundwork is done, and that makes a big difference. From the national level, we fight the election starting now, getting our policies working, getting our organization in place, getting our outreach strengthened, getting our communications modernized and mobilized so that we have 5 years to prepare for the next time. And we have to work hard, not just in the constituencies we lost, but even in the constituencies we won. Whether we won it comfortably, whether we won it narrowly, we cannot take the voters for granted. We have to strengthen our base. Win over those who didn't vote for us. Use the next 5 years well to pull further ahead. One conclusion from Mr. Khaw Boon Wan's review is that we must identify our potential candidates earlier. We want a more diverse slate. We want our people identified earlier, tested out earlier, put in place on the ground earlier. Avoid parachutists come in at the last moment. We agree completely with this recommendation, and therefore the party has already started looking for potential candidates for the next round. I pledge to Singapore a new PAP for a new era. We will update and reinvent ourselves to serve our people better. We will open up larger roles for MPs and activists to play a more significant part in shaping the party's direction, in engaging different constituencies and different groups. We will strengthen our conviction, our commitment, and our fighting spirit to be a national movement for the people. So to all members, whatever your position in the party, wear your party whites and wear your party badge with pride. Stand up and be counted and be part of this transformation, the transformation of the PAP, but also the transformation of Singapore. Hold on to our ideals while staying open to new ideas. Reach out to many different groups and participate in our common goal of building a better Singapore. So let's join hands to create a new PAP, and let's have the PAP continue to serve Singapore for many more years to come. Thank you very much.